Welcome back to Vilnius, Lithuania for day 2 of the 2021 World Open Sub-Junior, Junior and Masters Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships. And I'm sitting in the booth here with none other than Joe Whiteley. And this is going to be a fantastic competition today. And of course, big shout out to the guys from Alico, the finest lifting equipment on the planet. And I say that because I use it. And of course, SBD, the best lifting apparel you can get your hands on. Without these guys, none of this is possible. So a big shout out. Joe, what are we looking forward to today? We've got the big boys coming out this morning.
Yeah, we've got 3 groups here. We have Masters 1, 2, 3 and 4 all lifting in weight classes. So Group 1 is the 105s, Group 2 is the 120s, and then we've got the big guys coming out in Group 3.
Yeah, it really gets exciting when those big boys start hitting the platform.
Big weights moving today.
And it is going to be some pretty tight-knit competition, especially even in the 105s. We've got some pretty close nominations to start off in the M1s as well. The M2s, I think there's going to be a few little battles in there. You know, your top 2 lifters there have nominated on the same openers.
But as we saw yesterday, the top nominations sometimes don't get a lift in or don't have the day they were expecting to anyway.
And, you know, equipped lifting can go south very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Everything runs perfectly in training. You walk out that platform, there's something just not quite right with the shirt.
And the travelling as well has a big impact. So your body weight isn't quite what you thought it would be.
Well, we're getting on the board now. Didier Egels from France, opening with 120.
First time at the World Championships.
Wants to get this one on the board, get his confidence up.
He's first man out, and the first time you walk out with all those lights and cameras, so nerve-wracking.
And from this angle, that looks pretty
decent.
good. And he gets that first one on the board. Great weight to start off his competition. And that in equipped lifting, you get that first one on the board, you really sort of take the pressure off a little bit. Now you can start looking at where you want to go from here.
If you miss that, then whatever plan you had is completely out of the window. You've only got 3 lifts. It's not like
no room
powerlifting.
for error. You can't make it up on the next discipline. Seppo Kompa from Finland, 145. So we're in the M4s here.
76 years old. Benching 145. That's quite impressive.
I'm sure there's a lot of 20-year-olds out there watching this looking and thinking, I'd like to bench 145. And the self-lift off. He just gets a little bit out of shape at the bottom there, and you can see the shirt just pulling one side.
You really have to keep control of that shirt and stay patient and pull in.
And that is one of the tough things in equipped lifting, is really working down through that shirt, and you can see there that it sort of took its own direction. Alan Hugslung from Denmark looking for 157.5.
Very familiar face. He's the current equipped powerlifting champion. He won in Romania back in August.
And if he can put the 157.5 on the board, he puts himself in a pretty solid command.
Yeah, he benched 160 in Romania. He opened raw at that competition, opened at 100 and then put his shirt on for 160, but he's come out in his shirt for his first lift today.
Oh, that looks very clean.
Didn't give him
and
too much
he gets
trouble.
the 2 white lights, gets 1 red there. 2 to 1 is good enough though.
Let's see if we can spot what happened. His butt didn't quite come up, I thought. I thought
it could have been. It looked like it was still making contact from this angle. One of the refs might have sort of lifted a little bit. So we move in to the M2s now with Lars Hoglander looking for 170. And there is plenty of experience lifting with this man. He is certainly no stranger to the platform.
no stranger to the World Championships either. He won out in Mongolia, the powerlifting.
It's a big, big breath in. Great line to the chest. And followed that path all the way back up. He gets 2 red lights there. Let's have a look.
It's a side referee infraction. What happened there?
And
Oh,
you
his
can see
butt came up.
you can see the lift right from the start.
Yeah. We saw a lot of that yesterday.
It's one of those things, you know, you're trying to drive through the legs, and quite often it forces you up. And you know, obviously the aim is to try and get yourself into a position where you can't lift up with that, you know, anterior pelvic rotation sort of thing. The Dranas from Lithuania now looking for 195. Big advantage being in your home country.
Absolutely.
You don't have to deal with all the travel. You don't have to deal with the changes in food, and
You don't have to deal with the airlines losing your baggage, which has happened to quite a few people this week. There was storms over some of the airports, so we've had some disruption with travel for some of the lifters.
Struggling to get the touch and keep the bar still. They held him there for such a long time.
He was down there so long, I think he had very little chance of that. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he put more weight on that and came out.
Yeah, just really couldn't hold it in position. The shirt was pushing back.
He moved his feet around a lot as well. It looked like it was touching, it just wasn't still.
Yeah, he just couldn't hold it there. The shirt was pushing back. And you're right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to throw a few extra kilos on there so it holds to
Gets
the chest a bit
touch,
better.
pops up.
Matthias Humble, Sweden, 222.5 kilograms. We're in the M1s now.
Starting to get some big weights.
This is a big lift in any class. 222.5.
Hasn't benched internationally for a while.
Good pass. Follows it up well, gets off the chest pretty well.
It's a struggle though, wasn't it?
He popped off the chest well. He gets the 3 white lights. And just sort of slowed down a bit as he got that transition zone.
That's a nice big arch for a big guy.
Yeah,
Kept his butt planted very well.
I think it slowed down a little bit. I think he just got a little bit off that line and had to correct, but he managed it well. Robert Dordoix from Sweden looking for 227.5. Just to give you a bit of an idea of how ridiculously strong these guys are. The world record for M1 is 315.5 kilograms. Had to work through it, but still very smooth.
Very controlled.
Handled that very, very well, and gets the 3 white lights for it as well.
I think we'll see a big jump from him to his second. Controlled that descent so well.
Yeah, and having that smooth, controlled descent makes a big difference. You're not wasting enormous amounts of energy trying to pull through the shirt. Frans van der Putten from the Netherlands, 240 kilograms. We're in the M2s now. Current world record, 292.5. $292.5 is a small mid-priced car in the UK.
Decent opener.
Yeah, look, he followed that bar path down and then up, exactly the same path. You got 1 red light there, I'm guessing one side of his hip might have lifted. Just one side there. Mikhail Vosynik from the Russian Olympic Committee, looking for 250. I'll be really interested to see what he nominates for a second lift if the 250 comes up well. Just trying to get the lift off where he wants it. Just really struggling to get the position with the lift off, and he's running down on time now.
He is running out of time. I mean, I think he's right to try it again if he hasn't got exactly what he wants.
He's got it there in time though. Oh, he's got the replace call.
And that's the danger,
that's
isn't it?
timeout.
Yep.
We talk about that all the time,
Yeah.
giving yourself enough time if you get the replace call. And I'm not sure what the replace was for, but it's likely that his elbows just were not in that lock position. And you have to start and finish from that lock position. So that is plan A disappeared.
Completely
He'll
in
be
the
moving
bin.
to plan
Yep.
B now. Yuri Kati from Czechia now.
It's not unusual, though, is it, to miss your opener in a quick bench?
Not at all. And, you know, with the really experienced lifters too, you'll see them miss their opener, a timeout or something doesn't go right in their opening lift, and they will stay with plan A and go for their second lift.
But, you know, in classic bench, you wouldn't expect to see quite so many misses for your first attempts. But equipped bench is a hard game. It's difficult to get the shirt working every single time.
Yeah, and quite often you'll see, you know, things go wrong up until that third lift. So 260 on the bar for Yuri. A monster lift at any level. Oh, he's really having to work through that, and it's pushing him a lot to one side.
He can't get the
Can
touch.
he get to the touch?
I don't know. Did he get the command? No. No, I think he had to go, but I don't think the referees gave the command.
So what he'll take away from that, though, is 260 was liftable, couldn't get the touch. It's quite possible.
It's just hovering there. He can't. That final inch down to the chest.
So it's quite possible they won't adjust the shirt, and they may
just
even put a bit more weight on there.
Another 10 kilos he'd have got that touch.
Because he knows now,
yeah,
lifting is not a problem. And now we go to 262.5. They're just getting bigger and bigger.
Bachasbatar is coming out now. He
Mongolia.
is Masters 1.
Hasn't been on the circuit for an enormous amount of time, but boy, can he lift.
Only just into the Masters. He's 40 years old.
Got a lot of mobility.
I think he's having difficulty getting his heels down, though. He got them down. Oh, that's
maybe
too heavy.
That was a bit too
heavy.
easy to get to his chest there. Didn't quite get what he wanted out of the shirt.
But you know what? Look where the shirt is. He's got a lot more adjustment to come in that. That can come down.
There's a lot of room to move. You could see he didn't really have to work overly hard through the shirt to get that bar down.
But the weight was a bit too much. And now we've got his teammate in the same category, M1-105s, Damdin Ugenbaya.
Looking for 265. He's down to 30 seconds.
A lot of his platform time. And he did not wait.
The command.
That was a good press. That's a
It's
shame.
really disappointing because it's very smooth all the way through. He handled the weight without any problems.
Yep, it was a good touch. It was a good press, but he needs to wait for the command.
And he is going to have to watch those hips.
Yeah.
He was struggling to keep them down.
Look. Yeah, that was up a long way. I didn't spot that from the front at all. Wow, so we're half and half on.
It's been a tough opening round this morning.
It has.
So we come around for round 2 now. Didier Eagles from France, 125.
71 years old. And been competing 6 years. He got into equipped benching in his 60s. That's quite the retirement hobby.
Absolutely fantastic. And I'm thinking, you know what, I'm retired now. I'm going to take up powerlifting. You've got long arms and a long way to move that bar. Gets it down quick, gets a touch quick. Was it too fast?
I don't think his shirt was giving him much.
There was not a whole lot of potential energy built up in that shirt.
But, you know, jack the shirt down, come out and have another go.
And there are some fantastic stories about how people get into powerlifting, you know, in later ages, you know, in the masters categories. They're just starting out in powerlifting, but there's some great stories about why people get in here. Some of it's from health reasons, some of it's because someone convinced them to walk into a gym. And Seppo Compa now, certainly not new to the sport, 48 years of experience.
Wow. So this won't have phased him at all, missing his opener. He's put 5 kilos on it.
Yeah, and you can see that. He's gone, you know what, an extra 5 kilos will let me handle the shirt a bit better. And again, using up a lot of time. He does the self lift off. I like that. Oh, just clipped the rack. He got so much speed off that too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed. It moved so well.
It banged the rack and the bar dipped. That was a hit in the rack isn't a failure in itself.
It's still got to go up.
But as you see, when he hits it, it drops down. Yeah.
So he might have to look to maybe set himself up an inch or so further down the bench to make sure that doesn't happen again, because he got great speed and great path.
Yeah, it was a fantastic press.
Alan Høgsland from Denmark, 160. Got his opening lift at 157 and put himself pretty much in command.
So I think he's just going to try and stay ahead now and not do any crazy jumps. Just keep putting a little bit further out.
I think his second at 160 really puts him in that spot without anyone going to be able to threaten that.
Ooh,
he's having to work.
I think he came offline on the chest. It swung towards his face, and I thought he'd lost it, but he managed to press it up.
You know, he brought it back in line. Let's have a look and see if we can see.
He's laughing because he leaves the platform.
He knows exactly what he did.
So he touched quite low.
Yeah,
there it goes.
He went really back really fast, but he caught it.
Yeah, and that's the years of experience.
Lars Høglander now from Sweden, 195. And of course, Sweden, the home of our great sponsors, Alico, who not only make fantastic weightlifting and powerlifting equipment, but also great waffle irons.
I did have some of those waffles in Halmstad, of course I did.
So I think this is a personal best for Lars.
Big lift, M2 105s.
Good speed, but just couldn't quite follow through. And what's interesting is we talk about how, you know, with equipped powerlifting, anything can happen. You know, he's nominated at one of the lower lifts in this division, and he's sitting there ranked second.
Yeah.
And all he needs to do is just follow his plan.
Here comes Didrin Snolstorius to put that right.
195.
This will move him from nowhere into second place. I think his butt came up. We
Yeah,
had so many failures in the
we've
first
had
round.
A
It was
lot of
difficult to.
yeah, I've noticed a lot so far this week. I mean, a lot of them are really struggling to keep their butt down on the bench.
I wonder if a lot of people don't train on a comp standard height bench.
And it can make an enormous difference.
It can.
That looks pretty good, though.
It does. He needs to work to keep his head down, though. That looked like he was in some danger of his head coming
And
up.
3 red lights, and that may be why. Let's have a look at the replay.
Yes, his head did come up. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was hard
and
to
his
see
hips
from the
as
front,
well.
but
And you make a good point about training on, that comp standard bench height. I mean, not necessarily having to train on Eleiko equipment all the time, although it is fantastic to be able to train on Eleiko
but the
equipment.
height of the bench makes a
Needs
massive
to be
difference to
the
your
same
leg drive.
as what you're
Yeah.
going to be competing on. Matthias now from Sweden, looking for 2:30, had a good opener, 2:22.5. And this will temporarily put him in the lead, which means everyone else is going to have to get their lifts and do their job.
He was a little bit. He came down
And just
off
couldn't quite
centre,
get
didn't
there.
he? And I think that was why his left arm couldn't drive. He came over to the side a little.
And it's quite a different position to be in with equipped benching compared to classic bench. And very lifting up.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of power as he lifted through the hips there.
Davidovic next from Sweden. He's
so good.
last year in the M1s.
You get a 2:32.5. Be certainly nice for him to finish his M1 career with a gold medal.
Usually you see people just coming into the age class that are doing better, so people that are winning right at the top of the age class is phenomenal achievement.
Fairly smooth. Oh, he's having to fight through that lockout.
He's
Can he
fighting
get there?
I think
He got the
did.
lockout. Is everything else okay? It is. 3
Fantastic.
white lights. A great lift.
He deserved every kilo of that. That was a great fight. He's had some difficulty getting the bar down, but he controlled it so well, stayed
Yeah,
patient,
he never let it get offline.
kept his butt planted.
Boy, he had to work for
Yeah.
every scrap of that. Franz van der Putten from the Netherlands now, looking for 2:50. So we're in the M2s now. He's currently ranked number 1. Yeah, the lockout wasn't overly easy, but he got it there. But he gets the 2 red lights.
Yellow card, so it wasn't for lockout. So
I would
let's
imagine
see from the
that's the
side.
hip lift again, I would say. There
Yep,
it is.
there we go. We've seen more of this week than
A
I
lot
remember.
more than often.
Yeah.
Mikhail now, Russian Olympic Committee, missed his open at 250. I wouldn't have been surprised to see him put on an extra few
Same.
kilos, but he's kept it at 250. Let's see if they've made any adjustments to the shirt. So
He needs more
he's
weight on the bar.
really struggling
He
to
really
heat.
does.
So he gets that one back to the top. He certainly controlled that a lot better on the way down. And he
Yeah,
gets
he's
it
on the
the board.
But I'd say put another 10 kilos on there and he'll have a
He was
much
still
easier time.
really
with it.
having to work through it. You can see in the replay that he gets about an inch from the chest there, and it's a struggle to pull through. And when it's that hard to pull through,
Yeah.
you're also working to hold the bar steady as well. So we go 260 now. Yuri Kanti from Czechia.
Now this just looked too hard, didn't it? But I can see his shirt's further down. They've jacked that down. He should be able to get a bit more pop out of it.
Yeah, look, this is where his 29 years of experience
Yeah.
is really going to come into play here.
So for a classic bencher missing your opener, they would really be in some kind of state now. But this is...
Yeah, look, in equipped and you've got this sort of experience,
Yeah.
you might miss your opener, you walk off, you know exactly what went wrong,
Yeah.
what I need to do to fix it. I know I can move the weight.
Oh no, he's
Oh,
rolled
yeah.
it over. You could see his right arm, he just rolled it forward.
So he's put himself under a little bit of
Yeah.
pressure now.
Because of course the bench shirt is trying to push you offline, and you can see that right arm. There it goes.
Yeah, so, yeah, and that's the thing with the bench shirt. It wants to follow the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
And you want it to follow the most resistance. It's a constant battle, and Mongolia now. And you did such a marvelous, you did such a marvelous job pronouncing his name last time. I'll let you do that again.
I just did.
And it was beautiful.
So he missed this the first time.
Yeah, it just didn't seem to go together well. There didn't seem to be as much resistance as you'd expect.
Yeah.
At 262.5. Just didn't really get any power off the chest. Really struggles to get his hips down as well. He's got his feet such a long way back.
He was held at the top a long way though. His start position wasn't great. No, he's just too heavy.
Yeah, I think really needed to reconsider that opener.
That's a shame.
You know, there's still a little bit left in the shirt. I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of resistance there, but that's a lot of weight to control. I mean, they can tighten that shirt up a little bit, and it will certainly provide more energy. But can he control that on the way down?
Yeah, and I wouldn't go up on that. One of the rare times in a quick bench where I wouldn't actually put more weight on.
So his teammate now looking for 265 again.
In the
and
same
just missed
position,
his first,
yeah. So I wonder if this is a situation where the Mongolian coaches know what their lifters can do, but they've had to travel. They may have lost or gained weight. You know.
Yeah, you really need to make those concessions when you're doing international competitions.
That looked good. Oh,
Again, it just looks too heavy.
Go.
So again, under pressure now to get a third lift.
The coaches are really going to have to work hard, get those shirt sets exactly right. Come out and give it everything.
Come around to the third round, and it's quite interesting. I mean, the guys that we were looking at for some big battles haven't put their lifts on the board now yet.
Yeah, that's not a great table of results.
Didier Egel from France has 125.
And that score sheet really shows that it's not as easy as put a bench shirt on and lift a big weight.
Yeah, it's not something you can just walk out and do for the first time. It's a long process. I'm looking for a second shot at 125 now. And
do you know, it came up well. I thought he had that.
he got it off the chest well.
Yeah.
He brought it down to his chest really quickly. And he got a really fast call, which was great, but just couldn't follow it through.
I don't think he was getting much out of his shirt at that point, really.
Seppo Kompa looking for 150, has not put a lift on the board yet, needs this one. And this will take him from nothing to the silver medal. Actually, and
Yeah, it'll take him up to silver.
Silver, yeah. And Denmark has a 160 on the board.
Oh, that looks better.
A lot better.
Yeah.
Does he keep everything in position? He does. He gets
does.
the 3 white lights.
From 0 to hero.
Gives himself a silver medal on the 3rd lift. So Alan Fogslund from Denmark has the gold medal. He has his world championship. He wants to finish on a 162.5.
162.5 kilos on the bar.
This will be the most that he's benched since lockdown. I think a lot of people's PBs reset over lockdown.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one to call. You can see people's personal bests and their last competitions in 2019 and
oh, it's an effort.
And
but
he fights all the way to the top, and the referees say no lift.
That's a side view infraction again, isn't it?
On
Let's
both
see
sides, I would imagine his hips are lifting. There it is.
Yep.
Good spot from the referees.
I mean, we're seeing this
But
a
he
lot,
goes-
but this is a standard. This is the beautiful new Eleiko bench. It's the same height it's always been.
Yeah, certainly nothing's changed with that, and it is a really fantastic design, this bench. They've really listened to the athletes and made it better. Lars Hoglander, 195, missed it on his 2nd. He is ranked 3rd. And the 2 bigger nominations have yet to put on a lift, so he could well go home with the bronze medal. Good line. Fast off the chest, but just couldn't follow it through.
Yeah.
So he'll be sitting and waiting now to see what the other guys do, because right now he is in the bronze medal position. And right now we have the Drunas from Lithuania looking for 195. We're in the M2s, and this will put him from nothing into the bronze medal position. He has missed this at both previous attempts.
Hasn't put more weight on, which is often the final solution with bench, equip bench.
Plenty of speed.
He went up.
Well, let's see what the referee's saying on this one. He gets it
He's
on the
on the
board
board,
and puts
fantastic.
himself into the medals.
That's how quickly a competition can turn around for you.
Matthias Humble from Sweden, 235. So he missed the 230.
This is for the gold medal.
Threw in an extra few kilos, and this will shoot him into the gold medal position with 3 other lifters to follow. Working up to get as high on those shoulders as he can, get that arch up, and he has got a very good arch. And it's just a bit too heavy, I think.
Fought it to a standstill.
Just couldn't quite get there.
Leaves him with the silver for the moment.
And still a couple of lifters to put some lift on the board. So we jump to the M2s now for Frans van der Putten, looking for 250.
No, this is interesting.
We've
had a change. Yeah, I was going to say he needed another 2.5 kilos in order to go for the
So
gold.
Robert Dawidovics from Sweden now will go 240.
He's in the lead. He's just wanting to extend that and defend against the other lifters who are going to attempt to take that away from him.
Yeah, look, and he's looked at it. He's seen, the two Mongolian lifters are yet to register a lift. And looking at their previous two lifts, it looked tough for them. And he's put the 240 on, banking on the odds that there's a good chance they won't register a lift. And he'll go home with a gold medal. So right now, he's in the gold medal position. Didn't get a lot of speed, but he's going to fight for every scrap of this. Can he get the lock?
I think he did.
And two red lights. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I just saw Adam Riley there indicate the book came up.
And there it is.
There it is. Adam Riley, side referee from Britain there. It's his birthday today.
And doing a great job out there. So now we have Frans van der Putten from the Netherlands with 250. This will move him into the gold medal position, with a couple of lifters to follow.
Oh, did the bar dip
He's
just
had
then?
to work for it.
The bar definitely stalled.
The path definitely changed. Yeah, it looks like it went down as well.
I think we've got another infraction from the side with those yellow cards.
There's a few things going wrong there. Yeah, just lifts off the bench.
Yep.
Mikhail now looking for 262.5 now. He timed out on his first at 250.
Yep.
Nailed it on the second.
He's heavier than the Czech lifter though, but the Czech lifter hasn't managed to put a good lift in yet. But the Czech lifter will come out after him for the same weight.
So 262.5 might be enough for the gold medal. Currently, he's in the gold medal position.
He's running out of time. He's not done his wrist wraps.
And he is going to really struggle.
Oh, man. And the TC, the technical control, is quite rightly not letting him onto the platform.
You are only allowed to
done.
adjust your belt on the platform.
So he's got no chance.
No,
Less than 20
he's only got 20
seconds to
seconds left. There is no way he's going to get that bar in his hands and ready to go.
I think looking at where his shirt is, they were out the back making some last-minute
they've
adjustments.
just left it too long.
But if he gets this,
5
it'll be
seconds.
tight as anything. Come on.
2, 1,
No,
0.
there it goes.
Timed out. What a shame.
Well, you know, he's still in first place.
He still has that gold medal in hand.
However, we have...
Can Yuri take his almost 30 years of experience and turn these two lifts that he's missed into a gold medal? This is all or nothing.
Yeah, this is real death or glory stuff, isn't it? Bomb out or be world champion.
You've got a choice of two.
Oh, he's lost 15 seconds there. The TC didn't let him...
These guys have to get themselves more
Yeah, the guy
organised.
was ready to come out. The TC didn't see the clock was ticking.
Down to 20 seconds.
Come on, Yuri. Plenty of time still. But you have to do it. You have to take that bar right now.
Gets it in there. Can he do this? Oh, he didn't wait for a command.
No. I think it was go now or
What
don't
a shame.
go. Yeah. All that experience. So yeah.
The gold medal goes to the Russian Olympic Committee. And now the pressure is on the two gentlemen.
You know, in
from
the
Mongolia.
105s there were only 4 good lifts amongst 5 lifters. Astonishing.
So now we move to 2 lifters from Mongolia who have struggled to put a lift on the board.
They've not added more weight, and I think in this case that's right. It's not that he was struggling to get the touch, he just didn't seem to be able to press it out.
So we're 262.5.
So I think he's got a bit more shirt adjustment there.
Currently Sweden in the gold medal position.
So a few things you can do. You can jack the shirt down, you can turn the sleeves a little bit, try and get a little bit more pop out of it.
This will put him into the gold medal.
It's
And
it
again,
was
it's
a bit
just not going to
better,
happen.
but, you know, 5 kilos down might
It
have
was
gone.
certainly better, but just not enough. So his teammate now will look for 265.
Of course, they do say you're not a proper equipped lifter unless you've bombed out at least once.
I think it's part of your initiation, I think. So 265 at the bar for the gold medal in the M1-105s. Has missed it on 2 previous occasions. Is today his day for a world championship? Oh, and
he
didn't
didn't
wait
wait.
for the command, which is a shame.
Because it looks like he's pressed it.
Because he
Lockout wasn't
pressed
great,
it.
but
3 red lights, so he will not go home with anything today. And
we've seen a
that
lot
is-
of basic mistakes here today.
That is how equipped lifting just rolls so difficultly. One moment, you've got nothing. Next moment, you've got a shot at a gold medal. So we will roll now into the 120 kilo weight class.
So I'm sorry, I missed the scoreboard as it went past there. Was that Davidovic or was it Matthew Sombul that took the win in the 105s? Davidovic. Okay.
So we roll straight into the 120s. Joel Robinou from France, 120. 71 years of age, only 2 years of competing.
So we have lifters from M1, M2, M3 and M4, all 120s in this group. The M1 is quite a big group.
Oh, I'm pretty sure
I
his
think
leg
he
just had
moved
a
his
big
foot,
shift there.
yeah.
Let's wait and see. I think he knows it too.
Yep. So the rule is your foot can move laterally, but it mustn't lift.
Let's have a look from this angle.
There it goes. Yeah.
Taking a little bit of a step there.
I don't think that would have benefited his press though. I'm not sure what went on there. Serendamba from Mongolia.
140 kilograms. And I'm imagining he's going to come out without a shirt. This is not the first time I've seen this gentleman lift.
He's
And
a
when I
big
saw-
guy and
when
he
I saw
presses
one- When I saw
260, yeah.
140, what is he just, is that a dumbbell curl?
He's not got his singlet on. He's not. Oh, the clock's
He
ticking
is
and
Missed timed this. He's got 30 seconds left on the clock. He's still
got
putting his
his-
singlet on.
he's got his belt under his singlet. It's all going wrong. He's going to have to just come out.
And he's putting his belt on. He's got 18 seconds left on the clock. Thankfully, it's 140, and he can probably just unrack this himself and lift it.
The Mongolian coaches need to work on the timing here, I think. And he's going to time out.
He's timing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Timed out. So that was really just a case of...
He'd been called to the bar and he didn't have his singlet on. That is some basic stuff right there.
You know, it really is. And you can't put the onus on that on the athlete. The onus for that really has to go on the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
You know, part of your job handling an athlete on a platform is
to deliver them to the platform in time.
The platform on time. So when that bar loaded is called, they are ready to roll.
Yep.
Harry Tiranen from Finland, 150. And he was certainly ready to go when they called bar loaded.
Yeah, he's not got a shirt on. He's learning class, so he probably wants to just put one in, raw, and then try and get his shirt working after that. He lifted his head up.
See, they picked that one up.
It's hard to see for the centre. Maybe it was my view. Maybe it didn't quite come up. Because I was looking, rather than looking at the screen, I was looking right across.
Yeah, so it's a tough one to call on that one too, because the head can technically move. It just has to stay in contact.
Yeah. And from the side referee's perspective, quite often that's obscured by the plates.
Coach Wozniak from Finland looking for 170. We're in the M1 class. The world records for the 120 class are just ridiculous. M1, the world record, 365 kilograms. M2, 300 kilograms.
I thought Kyle looked familiar. He lifted in Sweden at Halmstad only a couple of weeks ago. This is a quick turnaround.
Yeah, so you got a quick turnaround, you've got travel time in both those competitions.
Giving himself a round of applause as he leaves the platform.
You talked about the new Alico bench, the new design, and one of the things that I really like on the new Alico bench is the narrowing of the sidebars, the safety rails.
Oh,
Gives
really?
you a little bit more room between the plate and the safety rail.
No, I didn't know that was a change.
Yeah, so they're a little bit narrower. In the previous bench, there was not a whole lot of room between them. Roger Anderson now from Sweden, 210 kilograms. The training has been going well. He did a 192.5 recently, I think. Or might have been a couple of
Swedish
years ago.
Nationals.
Swedish Nationals, there you go.
Oh, it was a tough lockout. I think he got it.
That's a good lift.
Yeah.
3 white lights. He had to work for it.
He's got a fair bit of adjustment already in the shirt, though, and that was a difficult press. It was a difficult lockout. Didn't seem to get a lot of pop off the chest, and then really had to work for it.
Akihisa Takamura from Japan, 230 kilograms.
His last international was the last world bench in Lithuania. So he's come back for
So a little bit of
go.
time between
Yeah.
hit outs. 230 should be well manageable for him.
Lockout wasn't super convincing.
Didn't look 100% convincing, but and the referees say, we agree. You've got to come back to that lock position.
He's got a great position, and the bar doesn't have far to travel, but his butt is hovering a little bit. He needs to be careful with that.
A little bit of a lift there, and just couldn't quite lock it out. Eric Wolzak from Poland now, 2-4-0. And here he comes. And this guy can lift.
He was second overall in Romania in the Equipped Powerlifting Masters. He also competed at the European Equipped Masters this year, so he's this is his third competition in a couple of months.
There's a lot of pressure on the body to compete that many times. Ooh, struggling to find the touch. You see the shirt wiggling around, but he managed to get control again. Yeah. And he gets the three white lights.
Good.
That was a really, really great example of getting that shirt under control. It tried to push out of the line. He struggles to get the touch. There it is. And then he controls it again.
I think he'll do better with a bit more weight on it. I think his next one will look easier.
And there's certainly plenty of coaching experience in equipped lifting coming out of Poland. Martin Green from Great Britain now looking for 245 kilograms.
Martin is a very experienced lifter. He's been competing 32 years.
And if you look at his list of competitions, it's multiple pages long.
He's won the Europeans. I don't think he's still looking for his first world title. Let's see how he can do today. A little bit off centre with the touch.
I think he's
but
done it though.
Yeah.
He gets it back in line.
He's on the board.
And you could see that little bit off centre was really pushing one,
Yep.
making one arm a little bit harder.
But he stays planted. Yeah, that was a good press.
Oleg Borisov from the Russian Olympic Committee now. 255, 25 years of experience. And you can see he's very calm, talks to the spotters and loaders. This is what I want. And he is certainly no stranger to the world stage. Great speed off the chest there.
There was a fair bit of lateral movement through the body. Let's hope he managed to keep everything.
He gets two white lights.
2-1. He did manage to keep everything
He's happy
planted.
with that.
That is all you need.
As the weight gets heavy, he's going to have to really keep an eye on that movement though. So we load the 255 now.
Ayush Ogbaya from Mongolia. Mongolian team is not having the best day.
Yeah, look, you know, their skill set, their experience is gaining and gaining and gaining.
Yeah.
You know, but there's still, you know, those small errors that are occurring. Getting to the platform on time, opener choices.
That looked good.
The weight certainly looked okay. Let's see if everything else was okay, and it
Yes,
was,
he's
and they
on
get
the
it on the
board.
board. And that one lift there is actually going to affect the whole Mongolian team lifting at the moment. The confidence is going to come up.
Unusual shirt. I didn't recognise the emblem on there. See, most people lifting in super katanas. I mean, not everyone, but you know, it's the most common shirt. But I didn't recognise the little sunburst on his sleeve there.
We'll have a close look at that in the next one.
Halmar Mai from Estonia.
Looking for 280.
This will put him straight to the top of the 120s.
Yeah, look, if he can put 280 on the board on his first lift, he is going to be really, really hard to peg down. But as we've seen, you have to follow through with it.
Yeah, it's not enough putting the attempt in.
Gets to the chest. Oh, just can't manage it there. Shirt just pulling to one side, so he's going to have to look at plan B now. And I think that brings us round to the second round now.
Just got offline, and you saw his right arm just went over the top.
So we move to the second round with Joel Robinu trying to get that 120 on the board. He's an M4, 71 years of age, only a couple of years competing under his belt, and needs to get a number on the board.
That bar has to travel a very long
He has
way.
very long arms.
Does not make for the best
And
benching.
it looks good from this angle. And I didn't see any real movement. Yeah, there we go. Gets it on the board and puts himself into that gold medal. Talk about putting pressure on yourself, though.
Yes. And we have another man under pressure here.
Yeah, look, this is really interesting. He's gone for the 140 again. Given that we're pretty confident his plan was to just get that 140 on.
Yeah, he's out in his
He's here and ready this time.
T-shirt. I mean, he's a big guy. This should be an easy press for him.
Oh, yeah, look, we've seen him handle
Yeah.
well above this raw as well. So it's an interesting plan A and plan B, but we'll see where he goes from here.
Yeah, it's very
It's a
easy.
nice little,
Like the empty bar.
nice little warm-up lift. Probably been out the back dumbbell curling that.
So he's going to wait to see what the lifter from ROC does and just try and nip ahead.
And do what he has to do. Harry Tyrinen from Finland looking for 160. Had a good opening lift at 150.
Still raw. Maybe he's not going to put a shirt on today. There's no requirement to do so.
Yeah, look, and he's in a position where he doesn't have to. Just needs to put some numbers on the board. And you also don't know if, somewhere along the line leading up to this competition, there's a little bit of an injury or something didn't quite go right with the shirt.
His luggage didn't arrive.
Or his luggage didn't arrive. You're still hurting about that, aren't you?
A little bit. I wasn't the only one. That was a good lift.
Yeah, so he gets it on the board. Be interested to see if he puts the shirt on for his last lift or just continues to lift raw. So we go 175. Kaj Wozniak now from Finland. $175 kilos.
He did 170 at Finnish Nationals earlier this year. Oh, do you know that looked great?
He looked really good coming off the chest
2
there.
inches from lockout,
I
just
thought
ground
that
to
was
a
in
halt.
the bag.
Yeah. Red lights, that's unusual. Let's have a look from the side. Red light on bench is that it didn't reach the chest or it hit the belt, I thought.
No, it definitely reached the chest. And interesting.
Yeah.
So we load the 217.5. Roger Anderson from Sweden. He is currently ranked number 4 in the M1 120s. So this will be a quality personal best. Moving well, and
Yeah.
he gets it to the top well.
You know, I thought he'd struggle with the press more than that because he had very little resistance getting to the chest, but that was a
He
great
managed
bench.
it really well. Very, very strong in the triceps. You see the triceps take over the job there, and lockout was really, really clear. Akihisa Takamura from Japan now for 230. Has not registered a lift yet. So this will rank him as number 4. His feet very, very close together. He's really probably going to have to watch that it actually doesn't touch into the bench.
Did he lock that out?
The referees say yes.
Yes, he did. So we had a failure from the side. Can't tell from that position whether his feet were touching the bench, but that is a failure. A yellow card failure.
He certainly could be there. I think it's very close. Eric Wozak from Poland now, 250. His opening lift got him on the board. It probably wasn't the cleanest lift I've seen him do, but it got the job done. We've got a few extra kilos on there now, and I think this lift will probably look better than his opener.
Yep. Oh, but
He's having to work, and I don't think he's going to get there. He looked really good coming off the chest.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Looks like it might have moved a bit faster than he did. And yeah, you can see it just drop out of line a little bit.
You have to catch it on the delts and push it home with the triceps.
So Martin Green, and apparently he is in the silver medal position. And he wants 252.5.
He has benched 260, but not for a while.
And Mark Giles watching on there. So
He had a busy day yesterday. There was a big British women's team yesterday.
He's going to have a busy week all round.
Yeah. Careful, controlled descent.
Gets the touch, and just couldn't quite get the right position there.
He lifted at the Arnold UK only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it can really take its toll on the body as well. Let's have a look at the replay. It just looks like his arms weren't under where he wanted it to be. And you can see at the touch there, it just shifted a fraction forward on the touch. And yeah, that half a centimetre is enough to put you out of position.
Silver medal position at the moment, but that is under threat if the Estonian gets a lift in.
We've got 262.5 on the bar now.
This is Otungbaya Ayush Otungbaya.
And he got the 255 on, which is, I imagine, has really increased the confidence of the entire Mongolian team today.
I think that's the first lift they've got in today.
Yeah, they've had not a great start. And he's got the touch there. He struggled with the control. Oh, I think his hips might have
to press that out.
Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, I think his hips really came up there. Just at the end when he pushed the extra bit for lockout, you can see he just lifts off the bench.
Of course, the body responds when you're struggling and just tries to give you everything it's got. And that's why all the power comes through the legs and the butt comes up.
That's a shame because he moved it well.
Yeah.
Oleg Borisov, Russian Olympic Committee. 265.
So this will be interesting. He's putting 265 in for his second. That will extend his lead. But the Mongolian lifter in his class opened raw and has now put a shirt on.
And
Yeah, that's a
that
good
looks
second.
like a good lift.
Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't.
And he gets the red lights. Let's have a look at this. There it is. You can see he's lifted on the way down and then on the way back up, which is a shame because he's really just sort of opened the door
He has.
and provided Mongolia with an opportunity. Elmar May from Estonia missed his 280 opener. Wants to get this one on the board.
He lost it at the bottom. Is that right?
Yeah, he just couldn't really keep that stability in the bar. And again, it really moved off his chest. What the referee say? And he gets the 2 white lights, and 280 is on the board.
So he has gone straight to the front of the pack.
Straight to the top.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone's going to be able to peg that down.
Huge speed off the chest there.
Really fast. Joel Rabinu from France now for his third lift, 125. He is the M4 World Champion.
Relatively new lifter, only been competing 2 years, and here he is at the World Championships.
And he's having a pretty good day. Didn't get off to the greatest of starts, but he's turned that around. And I think that's a good lift.
Decent.
And it is 3 white lights, and he'll walk out of here today holding a nice big gold medal.
And the medals at this competition are phenomenal. They're really nice. It's a bit variable, the medals you get. They're different at every competition, but these are particularly nice.
Harry Tiranen from Finland now, 170 kilos. And he is now the current M3 120 kilogram world champion. And this lift here is just the icing on the cake for him. That looks like a good lift. And it is 3 white lights. So we load the bar to 180. Wozniak from Finland. Opened at 170, missed his 175 on his second. And now looking for 180. Just shy of his personal best. Works to the chest. Got plenty of speed there. Clips the rack, but it should be okay, I think.
It's hard to tell.
Didn't
from the
look
view
like
we
a
got.
drop. Ah, no, he's got 3 red
If
lights.
we see that back from the side view, I think it bounced off the rack a little bit and dipped. Gets lots of tuck, gets down.
Shoots off the chest. Really got out of control when he clipped the rack there. Roger Anderson from Sweden, 225.
This is a big PB for him.
He is ranked 6th in the world at the moment. So 192.5. Was that Swedish Nationals?
Yep.
And now looking at 225. Looks confident under the bar.
Yes.
And that looks like a good lift. Let's see what the referees say. And it is 3 white lights.
Fantastic.
He is super happy with that.
Well, you know, was that 30 kilos on his
What a
PB?
way to
That's
finish your
fantastic.
World Championship event. Akihisa Takamura from Japan, 247.5. This will rocket him into the bronze medal position temporarily.
He's missed his opener to 230.
And it's quite it's not an unusually large jump for equipped
but
lifting, but
that's going to have been his third attempt, his planned third attempt, isn't it?
it's not unusual to see even bigger jumps in equipped lifting.
Or perhaps
depending
it's
on the lifter.
just what he needs to do to get on the podium.
And this will put him into the bronze medal
Yeah.
position. Oh, I think he struggled to lock that out. Oh, he gets it
got
there.
it.
It's the
He
2
got
white
it.
lights. And that puts him into the bronze medal position.
I think, as you say, I think he thought he'd failed it.
So now we go to 250. Walczak from Poland. His second lift failed, but it looked fast. And I think he will have sorted out those little issues for this one.
This will be a case of if he gets it right, it will go.
And this will shoot him into the bronze medal position. Oh, I don't think he's got it right,
No,
though.
he hasn't. What a shame. It came down so well, but then it just twitched out of place on his chest.
And he is such a good lifter. And such a shame to see him end this competition like that.
So here's Martin Green. He's off the podium right now. This will put him back on it.
This puts him in a shot for the bronze medal. And I think
fact-
if he puts this on the board, it guarantees him the bronze
Guarantees him
medal.
the bronze, yeah. He's well capable of this weight. He got 250 at the Arnold a couple of weeks ago.
252.5, well within grasp. This is for the bronze medal.
Patience.
Oh,
And
just a
no.
little bit too much there. What
I
a
think
shame.
a little bit more pop off the chest.
Just didn't really
Yeah.
get the speed up. So we go 257.5 now. He
This is for
didn't get to the
Bayaku
platform in time for his opener.
Tandamba.
Did the same opener on the second at 140. Now they're throwing on 257.5. Certainly an interesting tactic.
Yep, he is ready to go.
And it puts him in the gold medal position.
That's a bit of an ear tweak from his coach before he came out. He's, I don't know if I'd have moved my belt quite like that as I came out onto the platform.
So
You use the belt a lot of time to keep your shirt in place, and he unclasped and moved it and reclasped.
let's see if that affects him.
Yeah.
It's a big call.
Because he's not done a rep in this shirt yet.
257.5. And if he puts this on the board, this forces
ahead,
Borislav to lift for the gold. I'm not sure how he's
See,
going
this
all
is
over
the
shop.
problem with opening raw and putting a shirt on.
That was
You
just
need some time to get that
much
shirt
too big
working.
an ask to go
Yeah.
from handling 140 to 257.5.
Yeah.
So Oleg Borisov has the gold medal. but really wants 275.
I think he's going to come down. I think we'll get a
Let's
change.
see the change comes in.
No, he's
Nope,
coming
he's
out
going
for
with
it. He's coming out
275.
for it. Good
It's
on
not
him.
out of his reach. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen him do 290 in the past. I think if I remember rightly,
And he's
it
got
might
nothing
not
to
be
lose.
on the books, but I
right?
remember rightly, he has done a 300 in one of the Russian
He
championships.
has done 300 in one of the Russian championships. Siberian Cup
There
2019.
we go. So, yeah, 275 is there for him. And he wants to finish on this. Ah, look how easily that moved.
And Lockout was a little bit of a struggle.
Tough, but boy, that moved easily.
It did.
He gets the 2 white lights, the world champion right there. And you can see why he's the world champion. So we're at 282.5.
Ogunbaya Ayush from Mongolia.
And this is for the gold medal.
Yeah, this moves him ahead of Mai.
Yeah, and forces May to lift for the gold. But it's a big call. He missed 262.5.
But he can't lose his silver, so he's got nothing
No, he's
to
in a
lose.
safe position. I mean, you might as well push for it and make the gold medalist work for it. And can he get it to his chest? Gets the press command. Oh, he's having
fighting.
to work. I think his hips have lifted right off the bench, though.
And he can't lock it out. You know,
And
it's
I'll
worth
tell
a
you,
try.
he certainly
Yeah.
came close to that. It was definitely worth
Yeah.
the try.
So we have a change. So this will be Halma Mai.
Yeah, so he had 290 on the board.
It's gone to 300.
He's gone for the
He's
300.
gone up. He's no longer defending. He's just going to go for it. He's got the gold medal.
Well, look, that's it. He has the gold medal in the bag. Let's go for 300. You know, is there a possibility? I haven't got a list of the Estonian records in front of me. I mean, it could well
Maybe
be
a
an Estonian
national
record as well.
yeah.
You know, or it could be a personal goal. And now he's in a position where he's not risking anything. And I'm the world champion. I'm allowed to have a shot at 300. He looks confident. He hasn't given himself a huge amount of time left on the clock, though.
He can do it.
Be nice to see him finish on 300 kilos as the world champion. Oh, he's got a bit out of position there. Oh, he's got it back, but he just couldn't quite get control.
Do you know, I think his head came up as the bar came down.
You know, look, I think, depending on the circumstances, I think already having the gold medal in the bag, he's just relaxed a little bit too much.
Yeah, you lose your intensity
Yeah,
because you
that's
no
switched
longer
off a
need
little
it.
bit.
You know, you're kind of internally almost celebrating early.
And, you know, he's going to walk away from that, though. I mean, he handled 300 kilos
Yeah.
really well. And it's going to be a great way to finish for him. So he walks away the world championship. He did what he had to do.
Fantastic.
And gets the gold medal. So we will move now
into the supers.
Into the really, really big guys, the 120 pluses. And
Raul Ranmai from Estonia coming out first. 73 years old.
looking to open at a pretty cruisy 110 for him. And the current M4 record is 203 kilograms.
Easy as.
Did he use both hands there? I'm not sure if he did that with one hand.
That's probably the easiest press we've seen this week.
And we move to 165. George Haig from Germany. We're into the M2 120 plus now. Current M2 world record of 311 kilograms. And the World Open record for the 120 pluses,
yeah,
425.5 kilograms.
Wow.
That's about the current weight of a Lada X-Ray.
That's the Open record, but even in the M1s, it's 385.
M1s is 385.
Yeah,
It is
Jonah
crazy.
This is George House. He's having some difficulty with his blocks. You are allowed to ask for blocks to build up the height of the platform for you. Your feet need to be centered on them, so there we go. Open draw.
Looks pretty clean, and it is.
Lifts both classic and equipped. He's an experienced equipped lifter.
And Graham Reed from Great Britain now, 190.
Not been competing for a huge length of
It
time.
looks like he started competing in the M1s.
He did. 40 years old. Scottish lifter.
Very, very tall, long arms, and a long way to move that bar.
So his only international competition so far is the Commonwealth in Canada a couple of years ago. He won at that competition. But this is a whole other level, World Championships.
Oh, just got a little bit away from him there, and he had to catch up.
I think it took him by surprise how fast off the chest it was.
We talked about that
Yeah.
with the equipped bench, where you've really got to chase that explosion. And it looks like that one just got away from him a little bit.
So there's a little bit of chat on the platform there with the jury. I'm not quite sure why. It was a misload. Oh.
So he'll get the opportunity then.
Yeah,
to
it will go
retake that
back
lift.
to the end of the round.
Yep.
He'll get to take that again.
So right now then we go to Shikatoshi Higuchi from Japan, looking to open at 240. We're in the M1s now. Current world record, a whopping 385. And we have got some monster lifts coming in the M1s. Czechia and Estonia both nominated at 305 and 307.5. But right now, Shikatoshi wants to open on a personal best, 240.
Very slow descent.
Oh, I'm not really sure about that
I
one.
think that was an early rack command as well.
Yeah, he gets the red lights there, and he knows exactly what he did wrong. You could see him telling his coach. And
his
his
butt
hips
was up.
have lifted as well.
A long way.
And I think that was a bit of a response to trying to get his chest up to the bar.
Yeah.
So Tadas Gekas from Lithuania now. 245 kilograms, and no stranger to this. And certainly no stranger to the platform either, or the world stage. And it moves super fast.
Quick off the chest there.
And he gets two white lights. It's one red from the chief referee.
So the blue card on bench can be either for lockout or for downward movement of the bar. There was certainly no downward movement of the bar there, so I think the centre ref wasn't quite happy with the lockout.
We load to 2:55 now.
Ertsak Bazauturin. He's in the M1s.
Mongolia really need this. They need to get their competition program back on track. Just need a couple of really good lifts from their team to just get everything back on track again. Get the confidence back in the lifters, confidence back in the coaching staff. Just struggling to get the touch. And I don't think he can. And he's just used up way too much energy.
I think he did well to have as good an attempt as he did to get that up. It was such a hard touch. So has he opened too heavy or has he opened too light?
Yeah, you know, look, if you look at the way it comes with the chest, I don't think it's too heavy for him. I mean, he really didn't get much out of that shirt.
Yeah, it's
with
jumping
all this
about
moving
there.
around.
Yeah.
And when he pressed, he really moved it quick.
Yep,
I don't think it's too heavy. I think that you really have to work on that shirt. And that really does come with experience.
Yeah.
You go out the back there and some of those really experienced coaches know exactly what to do with that
Just put 5 kilos on it, go out again.
Janos
However,
Cerna.
I've just seen that he's put the same weight in for his second. I would definitely have put a little bit more on.
Let's hope they shift the shirt a little bit then. 275 on the bar.
This is for first place in the M2s.
And if he can put this one on the board, I don't imagine Hogg has the potential to catch him. That moved pretty quick. And what do the referees have to say? 3 white lights.
Looks very
I'm pretty sure he has probably secured himself the gold medal. But game's not over yet. So one pinch from Czechia now.
Here's Jan Pink. He's such a familiar face. He's
280.
back spotted me several times at international competitions.
Yeah, we have seen him everywhere. 30 years lifting.
You know, if you've got the Czech spotter team and you've got Jan behind you, you are in good hands. Great to see him on the platform. He competed in Romania. Had a really good battle on bench with his teammate, his Czech mate. Let's see what he can do today.
And after that fabulous chest pun, we'll see if he can call it. So 280.
So he benched 282 in Romania in August.
You see that shirt really compressing the chest there. And he gets a lot out of it. That is your experience, but he gets the red lights and he's not entirely sure.
He doesn't know why. I'm not seeing any indication from the referees, so let's hope we can pick that up.
And his coach is going to go to the table. Yeah, his coach is going for a walk to the jury.
His butt didn't come up, his feet didn't move. I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, his coach didn't spend much time at the table, so we'll wait and see what happens. Right now, Aida
Well, the jury's not moving.
Kashkarov from
Stands.
Kazakhstan. 290. And that's not even our biggest opener for today.
No, a few more lifts to go. And of course we still have Graham Reid from the UK. He's going to come out again to retake his opener.
He might have just gone a little bit heavier on the open. Did he get the lock? I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure.
if he did. He
No,
did not.
He did not. So this isn't going to be the greatest angle to see the lockout, but it didn't look convincing.
So right now we load to 305. Tarmo Parla from Estonia. And This is pretty close to his best lift of 307.5. I thought he'd done 310, but I could be wrong. So it's pretty close to his personal best, and I don't think he's done 307.5 for a while either.
No, I can't see anything from him equipped since before lockdown, to be honest.
But it's really hard to see what's been going on with their training, their local comps, in-house competitions and things like that, working during lockdown. Handles the weight well. It's a little bit offline there.
No.
Yeah, just pushed back on him. Just got a little bit out of position.
Yeah, if you're not quite in the right position on the chest, it will come up in the wrong direction and just take it over the top.
You can see as he dragged down, it was just wiggling back and forth, and it slides back a bit there. Not quite where he wanted it, and it takes him all the way back. But I think he put that on his second without any problems. So now, though, we go to 307.5. Jaroslav Sukal from Czechia. 307.5.
Familiar name. He was a silver medalist in the raw powerlifting in Halmstad.
Name. And a very recognisable man.
And he competed in Romania in August. This is third competition in 3 months, third international in 3 months. So he's the current equipped powerlifting world champion in the M1s. Got the silver in classic as well. And now he's going to look to see if he can be double world champion, powerlifting and bench.
And if there's a man out there that can do it, it's this one. He's got the experience. And he has the power.
Yeah, he certainly does.
And let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights. That is a great opener. And he has really put the pressure on Estonia now. Graham Reed now.
We have, I think that's 10 lifters in the M1 120 plus. Maybe it's 9. But only 2 of them have got a successful opener in.
And Graham Reed now gets to retake his opening lift from the missed load.
This is a difficult one, though, because no matter what happens now, he's going to be following himself. So I think we're going to get a bit of a break.
And it's also a really difficult call as well, whether you decide to actually retake that opener lift and do 4 lifts instead of 3. Yep.
So I didn't actually catch the misload at the time. He didn't manage to press it.
I'm quite sure he walked off wondering why it felt so heavy.
Yeah.
But he's got great experience behind him there, Mark Giles in the corner. And would have talked him through this.
Good touch. And a good press.
That's the way it should have looked the first time.
Yeah.
And he gets the 2 white lights. He's happy with that.
There's a huge amount of support from the British team here today.
So we roll into round 2 then. Raul Ranmay from Estonia, 120.
So there we go. Only 3 people in the 120 plus have got to lift in.
Yeah, look, and if you're sitting in and watching this at home and you're really new to equipped lifting, it's a very, very tactical, coach competitive discipline as opposed to your classic lifting. So 120. Oh, he clipped the rack there. Did it push the bar down?
It definitely stalled. 2 to 1.
He gets the 2 whites. And that is, you know, look, you can't always have the advantage to train on Eleiko equipment. Yeah. But if you have the opportunity to fine-tune your lift on Eleiko equipment, it avoids those sort of things happening.
Now we have the situation where Graham Reed is coming out again, so he's only just been out because he retook his owner.
So he gets an extra 3 minutes on the clock.
Yep. And so 3 minutes is ticking down now.
Even though he gets the extra time on the clock, it's still a big ask.
It is. And of course he's welcome to come out at any time, but you would really think he's going to
use it as much as he can. But it's, you know, it's not just a big ask physically, it's also the mental game as well here. You're almost following yourself. There's only been a couple of lifters after you. You haven't really had that opportunity to wind down the mental game from the first lift. And you're racing out for your next one. So, of course, a big shout out to the guys from Alico, and of course they hosted the previous event in Halmstad there.
That was absolutely
headquarters.
fantastic to be welcomed to their headquarters, and they gave us such a huge space for not only the warm-up but the platform and the audience, but also they gave us access to their own training room.
Yeah, look, and I mean, also big hats off to them. The difficulty at the moment, I mean, around the world at the moment, competitions are being scheduled, things happen, they have to get moved at the last minute.
Yep.
And Alico did that in very, very short notice to put that all together, and it was absolutely fantastic. And though if you watched it online, it was an absolutely fantastic event.
It was actually a great competition. It sounded like going in. It sounded like it was a little bit awkward. It's in an unusual building, and there was a lot of COVID restrictions. But you know what? There was a fantastic energy in there. It was great to be back in World Championships again, and the athletes and the teams really brought the energy and the spirit to it. It was phenomenal lifting.
So competitions are starting to roll again, which is fantastic. So we're just about down to 1 minute now. And of course, I didn't get the opportunity to go to Sweden. I was so looking forward to some Alico waffles.
Very missed.
The Alico waffle.
They were making those Alico waffles on the vintage,
of course
the
they were.
historic waffle irons.
No, of course they were. So we have 52 seconds left on the clock. He has 2:02.5 on the bar. And he's going to use every bit of time to get as much rest as he can.
I don't think he's coming out.
Yeah, it looks like he's decided not to.
I would not expect to see a lifter that Mark Giles was handling late to the platform if he intended to come out.
Yeah, exactly. And then you need, not only, you're chasing yourself, you're doing 4 lifts.
Yeah.
So that third lift, that fourth lift finally comes out a little bit harder than it should have been. Oh, no, he has decided to come out.
I think maybe there's a
bit of
misunderstanding
about
about whether he got another minute, but there's no way he's going to get this out of the rack.
And he times out.
He's got the command.
And it's just too big a ask.
You can't set up in
to
that
rush
time
out,
in a shirt.
set up like that. It's just too big a ask, unfortunately.
Or just some kind of miscommunication.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of miscommunication that the 3 minutes includes the 1 minute.
So I've always understood that you don't load the bar until you're calling the lifter out. So maybe that was added to the confusion. So
a tough day for him so far. A misload, a misunderstanding. So we load the 2:15. George Haig from Germany. And 2:15 should be well within reach. Taking his time there, gets the start command. Gets off the chest well.
Yeah, it was fast off the chest.
Really just couldn't follow it through. It was a big jump from 165 to 2:15.
Did he open roll?
Yeah, I think if I recall rightly. And it's a big ask. Even if you've handled that weight before, it's a really big shock to the
his
neural
butt
pathways.
was up, his feet were sliding.
So we load to 2:40 for a second attempt at 2:40 now for Shigetoshi Gucci from Japan. He missed this on his opener. Just got all out of shape trying to get the bar to his chest. And just as he tried to get the bar to the chest, he really lifted his hips up and his butt came off the bench trying to get the touch.
But he looked like, as he came off the bench, that he understood what had happened.
Yeah, he certainly knew where it went wrong. And they've kept the same weight, and I would imagine they've made a little bit of an adjustment to the shirt there so he can get that touch a little bit easier. Let's have a look. Very slow descent. And it's certainly easier to get the touch there this time. That's the way it should look.
Yeah, and I think that very slow descent, I don't think it was that he was fighting the shirt. I think that's his style.
I think it was very well controlled. Let the potential energy build up and get a nice quick press call. And he gets it on the board. So 2:55 now. Saki from Mongolia looking for 2:55. He missed this on his opener. And it certainly never looked too heavy to handle on his opener. It just didn't seem to go to plan. So he really has to have a very clean line to his chest.
So this is Saik Batsurin.
Oh, it's getting out of line again.
He just can't.
And the crazy thing is, he is strong enough to handle it.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, to even return that bar to arm's length after all that struggle at the bottom was phenomenally
not
strong.
getting that touch properly. Just
You know,
can't
I
pull
think I
through
would
there.
have asked the spotters to take it from me and not wasted energy pressing it.
Yeah.
But look, after all that, he still managed to... Oh no, the spotters did take it. I couldn't see that from my angle.
So he's put himself under some pressure now. Talis Gekas now. 262.5. Currently sitting in the silver medal position and struggling to get the lockout there though. It moved really well but just couldn't follow through the lockout. And I think he's got a feeling like the shirt is in the wrong position.
It slid on his chest as he started the press, didn't it? So I've just checked the rule book, and the rule book does say that if you're having a time added to your allowance because of a mistake and someone else has gone, you get the 2 minutes added to the minute you already have.
So 3 minutes.
So that did, so that was
out.
entirely correct, but possibly a miscommunication to the coach there. So here's Jan Pink. We couldn't see why he was failed, but 2 referees turned down his opening lift.
Yeah, it was an interesting one.
Yeah, so 2 referees
from where we
saw
were sitting,
something.
looked clean, but obviously the referees have a much better look than we do.
So he's gone up 5 kilos.
Yeah, I think that's probably a wise move. I mean, in his mind, it was a technical failure, not an inability to lift the weight.
But it wasn't super easy. So, see what he makes of this.
It's a nice touch.
And he makes short work of it.
That looks better than his opener.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the referees say on this one. And he gets that one on the
2 to
board.
1. That's good enough. I'm just looking over at Red Light Riley to see if he'll indicate why, but he is not doing so.
It could have been the foot movement. It did shift a little bit, but I'm not sure if it lifted. Couldn't really catch it. Obviously, he's got a much better view than I have.
That puts Jan up into the silver medal position. And of course, the other Czech lifter is going to be very hard to catch indeed.
And then Aidar Kashkarov now from Kazakhstan, 290, having missed his opener at 290. A huge arch on him. Oh, he's
I
really struggling
can't
to
tell
lock
from
out.
that angle whether he's managed to lock that or not.
The right arm.
Yes, he
he
did.
gets it there. I couldn't see the left arm from that angle.
Yeah.
He's got such a big arch.
Yeah, he's
such
built
a
to
big
bench,
guy.
isn't
He's
he?
really set up for this. He's great speed off the chest. So we load to 307.5 for Tamo Pana from Estonia. He opened at 305 and missed that. And I
he's
think the
much
extra couple
lighter,
of kilos
yeah.
is probably a good move. And he's also thinking very tactically now. I need to keep in touch.
Well, not only in touch, but he's lighter in body weight than Sukhal, so he will move into gold medal position with this lift if he's successful.
And that forces Sukhal now to actually make his lift, because 307.5 won't be enough for him to keep the gold. So 307.5 for a second. And I think this was a very wise decision.
Yeah, tactically, I think this is great. This moves him ahead rather than moves him to just behind. It
Moves
slid,
off well,
it did.
but he
Can
gets
he lock
control.
his right arm? I'm not sure.
Let's wait and see what the referees say no. He'll be disappointed in that.
He will.
He knows he can shift that weight. Have a look at the replay.
Great mobility to get his feet so far back.
And it just sort of shifts back on him as he lifts.
And his butt comes up too.
Yeah. So now we load to 315 for Jaroslav Sukhal from Czechia. I always enjoy watching this gentleman lift.
Yeah, he had a great battle with Jan Penk in Romania.
He always seems to just enjoy lifting so much. And an absolute gentleman as well. Oh, that should be good, I think. Let's have a look.
He's moved around on the bench a lot, but the press was good.
Very good press. And listen, if you've ever met this guy and shaken his hands are so big, you're worried your arm is going to fall off. And that is his gentle handshake.
He's a big guy. So we're into the third
Final
round of
round
bench
now.
press.
And what's interesting, there's a few guys here have opted not to take their second.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so the Hungarian.
I guess in the
opted not to
120,
take a second and third.
the M2s, I think those positions were settled.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting choice of whether to let the clock run down or cancel it.
It's usually considered polite to put an attempt in so that the other lifters aren't rushed.
So right now we've got 130 on the bar. This is your M4 120 kilo plus world champion, Raul Ranme from Estonia. And can he finish with the 130? I don't think he can quite lock it. Not
Couldn't
quite
lock his
there.
right arm.
But he walks out of here the world
I
champion.
mean, this is the interesting thing about lockout. Yeah, the interesting thing about lockout is it looks different from the centre position to the side
Very much
referees.
so, and there you have it.
And if we look to this side, that lockout looks absolutely fine, but from the front,
it looks very, very different. So he gets it on the board and he walks out a world champion with 130 kilograms. And here comes Graham Reed, who has had
a difficult day.
rough
Yeah,
day at the office.
But this is his first World Championships, and he's got one on the board. So
He has one on the board.
That is an achievement in itself.
And that world stage experience makes such a difference to your next competition.
It does. This is the hardest platform in the world.
202.5. It's an awkward touch.
It was. He has
Doesn't have to
put
work. I
up
don't
a
think he can.
brave effort, but it came down badly,
And
didn't it?
ladies and gentlemen, take your hat off to that man who had a really rough day at the office, but he put in every single thing he had. He gets a number on a board at the World Championship.
So this is where, just there, is where it just got a little bit forward of his elbows, I think.
And
that was difficult to drive
how
back.
technical equipped lifting is.
Yeah.
You know, half a centimetre forward, half a centimetre back,
Yeah.
and you've lost your line. Tadas Gekas from Lithuania now.
But you know, Graham, he got one on the board and he's 6th in the world.
That is, he is. He ranks 6th in the world now in the world bench press scene. 262.5. He's ranked number 4. This won't change his ranking at all. But he certainly wants this one. Moved well off the chest, but he just knew he wasn't going to follow through.
Yeah.
He's just not himself today. We've seen him lift before, and he just doesn't look like his usual lifting style.
Urtsak Bazarsurin from Mongolia. He has yet to get a lift on the board, but he has gone up now. He's gone up 30 kilos, yeah.
And
Which will put him on the podium, yeah.
It's a big
if
call.
If he can do it, it is. It is. But I did think on his opener I would have put more weight on it. It might not have been 30 kilos.
I think
put
some
a
extra
little
weight
bit
would
more
help.
on.
I don't know about the 30 kilos, but this is the world of equipped powerlifting, and anything can happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against this.
And I certainly wouldn't bet against this when it comes to Mongolia. These guys are super strong. It's all about that bar path and that timing. If he gets it right,
Okay.
you can see how much. Oh, he's still struggling to get that touch, isn't he?
You can't get down.
He just can't get the
Yeah.
touch into the right
What a
position.
shame. What a shame.
I mean, I
That
think,
shirt must be super tight.
and I think they probably really need to consider changing the shirt altogether there.
Yeah. If you can't get
You know, I think
285
it's just
to
to
your
the point you
chest.
just cannot get down there.
Yeah.
So that is a shame. He will not register a lift. So Shigetoshi Higuchi from Japan now, jumping
Let's
from
take him
240 to
from-
290.
Let's take
And
him to silver medal.
this is a tactical move.
In fact, there's a lot of really close lifts coming up.
Yeah, so this is a tactical move
Wow.
to
50
change
kilos.
his ranking. And it is well above anything he's lifted before. I do not recall him lifting
Anything like this.
anything
yeah.
near this in a competition.
This is a brave move. But there's some kind of issue. He's not getting past the TC. And he's not got much time left.
I'm not sure what the problem is. He's still putting those wrist wraps on.
He's not left him enough.
He
And he's still
is
doing his
not
wrist
going
wraps.
to get out there. There
And he's
is
got no
13
sense of
seconds left.
urgency.
And you are
chance.
not going to get set up in 4 seconds. And that
Time out.
is a shame. And it's an unusual error from the Japanese team as well.
It is,
They
yeah.
have so much experience in bench press.
That seems strange to me.
So unfortunately, he timed out and he won't get to do that lift. And he won't give himself a shot at a bronze medal.
Quite unhappy about it, but you can't walk out on the platform doing your wrist wraps up.
So he won't get a lift there, which is a shame. Jan Pink though. From
Okay,
Czechia.
here we go. This will move him up to from bronze to silver. He's not guaranteed the bronze because we still have the Estonian lifter has an opportunity to register a lift.
So he needs to put this one on the board to give himself a shot. 295 would certainly give himself a little bit of breathing space.
Yeah. Had a technical fail on 280, nailed 285. Look, he's
Yeah,
always
look,
got a smile on his face.
None of it was a result of not being able to shift the weight.
Yeah.
You know, so none of that has been a case of it was just too heavy. Things just weren't right. It was just technicalities.
Great touch.
Really good touch.
And
He just couldn't quite get there.
Do you
But
know,
his coach-
2.5 kilos less might have gone there.
Look, and
It's
you can
so
see his
close.
coach was super happy with the effort there.
Yeah.
And we've got an attempt change coming in.
So who is?
So I'm not sure if that will
changing?
change our order here or not. Let's have a look.
So Jan has still got the bronze medal so far. Oh, we have seen.
So now we have Tamo Parna from Estonia.
So that was
307.
the lifter from Kazakhstan. Koshkarov has gone up, has put his attempt up. He's no longer defending against Jan.
So Tamo here needs this lift. This will move him from nothing
To second.
to a silver medal. And it will move him into a definite bronze medal with 2 lifters to follow. He's got 25 seconds left on the clock there. Gets the touch. Oh, did he jump the command?
I don't think it was on the chest when he got the command.
Yeah, unfortunately no lift, so he will not register a lift, which just leaves us with 2 other lifters. So
Yeah, that's a real shame his butt was up.
So
anyway.
Pink takes home the bronze medal, I believe.
He does, fantastic. He's on the podium. And now Aidar Koshkarov, he is going to
3:15.
attempt to take the world title away from Sukal.
So this will shoot him in to the gold medal position, and it's going to force Sukal to lift, and I imagine he's waiting there deciding what he's going to change to, if he needs to change.
You know, if I was him, he may feel he's comfortable with the 325 he's got on the board, but if it was me, I would take the smallest jump possible to secure the win. But first,
He's struggling
Koshkarov.
with stability. It's just too much from the handle, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, he's gone up
Just,
quite a long way.
just struggled to handle that weight, and he's really not got the time to reset now. With only
gonna
10
try.
seconds left.
But I think it's just too heavy.
Going to be close. He just couldn't get a handle on it.
And he's taking too much time.
And he's about to time out, and that's time. And unfortunately, he's timed out. So that is unfortunate. So
But
now
he still gets the silver medal.
goes home, silver medal, the World Championship.
And Sukal gets to
Sukal
do whatever
now
he likes.
Can do the 325. He can go for 355 if he wants, because he has the gold medal.
Absolutely. He's done
Load
360
up
in the
400.
past. I mean, it was a while ago.
Yeah, look, 325 is really quite within reach for him.
Yeah. Still, if he'd needed to defend, I would have, as his coach, I would have dropped that weight.
Yeah, look, I think if they had have hit the 315, you might have seen him change to 317 and a half.
Yeah.
You know, to guarantee a successful lift. And is he coming out?
I don't think he is. He's probably already in the bar.
So
I
it
think
looks
they
like he's just letting the clock run down. There's 325 in the bar. Certainly doesn't look like he's coming out.
He's already won.
He has the world
He is the world
championship
champion.
in the bag already. Doesn't need to do this lift.
Wow, that's been a dramatic session. You know, I've seen
And
more timeouts, more butts off the bench than
It
ever
has
before, I think.
been all over the place. I don't think we've ever seen this many timeouts.
Yeah.
A number of errors coming from the backside of the coaching staffs there in the back of the room. Lifters not being ready in time. Lifters still putting on their singlets with 15 seconds to go.
It has been an astonishing session.
But it's all experience for all the different teams and all the different coaches you learn from those. I was talking to Mark yesterday. You know, I've made silly mistakes in the early days of my coaching career at international events, and you learn from them.
You do.
know, and there's not much you can do about it. It happens. Well, don't go too far away. We've got the medal ceremony coming up very, very shortly. And then at 1 p.m. local time, we'll be right back here. We have the women's sub-junior and junior 47 to 84 pluses. And this can be really exciting and very, very unpredictable when it comes to equipped lifting. We'll see you back here at 1 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony, please welcome Rashid Sultani and Gaston Farage to present the medal. Walton Novum to present the medals.
Okay, we go forward then with the 105 Master 4 lifters. On the third place, we have Egels Didier, France, 120 kilo. Oh. On the second place, we have Kompa Zeppo from Finland with 150 kilo. And the new world champion is Fuglsang Allen from Denmark with 160 kilos. So please stand all up for the national anthem of Denmark. Thank you. And we have only one lifter here in the Master 4, 120 kilo, and he's the new world champion, Robino Joël from France. So please stand all up for the national anthem of France. Thank you. And we have one lifter in the Master 120 plus, Master 4. The new world champion is Ranmei Raul from Estonia. Morten, please. Come there. So please stand up for the national anthem of Estonia. Thank you. So then we go forward with the 120 kilo class Master 3, only one lifter there as well. Hironen Harry from Finland with 170 kilo, the new world champion. Please stand up for the national anthem of Finland. Unfortunately, in the Master 3 105 we have nobody because they bombed all out, what is a little bit a pity, but I think everybody should do a lift what he can manage. It's just a pity when we have 3 athletes there and then nobody come on the podium because they all bombed out. That's surely not very good for our sport. So then we go forward with the 105 Master 2. Smeltstorius Sidrunas from Lithuania, 195 kilo, bronze medal winner. Silver medal goes to Van der Putten Frans from Netherlands with 240 kilo. And the new world champion is Vosko Bojnik Mikhail from Russian Olympic Committee with 250 kilos. So please stand up for the national anthem of Russian Olympic Committee. Thank you. $120 kilo class Master 2. There we have 2 lifters. Silver medal goes to Selin Damba Bayarku from Mongolia with 140 kilos. And the new world champion is Borisov Oleg from Russian Olympic Committee with 275 kilos. Please stand all up for the national anthem of Russian Olympic Committee. Everybody stand up, please. Thank you. And we have the 120 plus, only 2 lifters here. Master 2. The silver medal goes to Hauk Georg from Germany with 165 kilos. And the new world champion is Cerna Janos from Hungary with 275 kilos. So please stand up for the national anthem of Hungary. $105 Master 1. 2 lifters. Silver medal goes to Humble Matthias from Sweden. 222.5. And the new world champion is Davidovic Robert from Sweden with 272.5 kilos. So please stand up for the national anthem of Sweden. Thank you. And we have 3 lifters in the 120 kilo class Master 1. The bronze medal goes to Takemura Akihisa from Japan with 247.5 kilos. The silver medal goes to Ayush Otongbaya from Mongolia with 255 kilos. And the new world champion is Mai Halmia from Estonia with 280 kilos. So please stand up for the national anthem of Estonia. Good. Then we come to the 120 plus, also 3 lifters, Master 1. The bronze medal goes to Pink Jan from Czech Republic with 285 kilos. The silver medal goes to Koshkarov Aida from Kazakhstan with 290 kilos. The new world champion is Sukal Jaroslav from Czech Republic with 315 kilos. Please stand all up for the national anthem of Czech Republic. Thank you. So before we leave, I want to congratulate Martin Green for his birthday. Martin Green, happy birthday from all of us. Adam Riley. So it's Adam Riley, the referee. Congratulations for your birthday. So I got the wrong information here. Here for the lifters. Bye.